Look, check this out. I'm headed to work, right about to go punch this clock. I told y'all before, it's a blessed day to go to work. Look, you always want to have somebody that you can call and talk to, and they gonna keep it real with you. Like I told y'all before, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, well, I'm not gonna say one of the hardest things I ever had to do. One of the most challenging things to do is to stay married for a long time. And here's why I say it's challenging. Because it's not like, let's take welding for instance. After 5 years, you're not gonna run across nothing that you can't weld. You know what to do, what procedure to use, what method to use. You know how to make it shake. And you know, if I do this, it's gonna do that. If I do this, it's gonna do that. If I add this or do this or take this away, it's gonna do this. Right? When you are married to somebody, you are constantly dealing with the other person's emotions, how they feel, and the way they perceive things. And it's never the same every day. And I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing or nothing like that. But like you know when you wake up some days you don't want to be like going to your full-time job every day. Some days you just don't want to be at work. And some days your partner may wake up on the wrong side of the bed. They don't want to be bothered. Now it's hard to say I don't want to be bothered when you're in a house full of kids with your spouse. I've woke up days like that. Like, look, man, kids getting on my nerves and you getting on my nerves. Don't say nothing to me. You will have days like that. But that is when that is when you have to know how to deal with your partner. Okay, they don't want to be bothered. They in one of their moves today. I'm gonna just kind of steer clear. Not steer clear, but kind of, I ain't gonna be with the joking and playing today. You know what I'm saying? Or you may wake up like that, like, look, man, stop asking me 100 questions. If I don't want to eat right now, don't make me nothing to eat. I mean, that's how it is when you're married to somebody, you living in the same house, you got kids. Each day to day is different. And I'm not saying it's like, oh man, marriage miserable. No, marriage is a beautiful thing as long as you're willing to work on it. As long as you're willing to work on it, marriage is a beautiful thing. And you will go through things in your marriage that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And the reason I'm making this video, me and my wife, we butted heads this morning, right? And words was exchanged, blah, blah, whatever. And you can kind of get in your feelings and be like, man, you know what? Screw all this. I know what I bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be here. You can have that mindset or that attitude, but always try and see it from that other person's standpoint. So I ended up hitting one of my buddies up. I say, hey, man, what you think about this, that, and the other? And he was just straight honest with me. He's like, man, honestly, I really think you need to do this, this, and this. I be like, man, but what about this, this, and this? I feel you on that, bro, but you really need to do this, this, and this. And then I'll be like, well, man, dang, bro, he is kind of right. So let me reassess the situation or what went down, blah, 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 then let me fix it. And that's part of it. And you move on, you go on. That's part of being in a healthy marriage. You will have days where you have spats. You will have days you don't be bothered. You will have days that you aggravated with your spouse. But those are the days when you're supposed to push through, love one another, try and make it better, because nobody's perfect. And you can't hold one person accountable for something that you know that they didn't mean. I got like 4 minutes, y'all, then I got to go. So you always want to have people that you can talk to and kind of go back and forth and bounce ideas off of. And there's some things that I do that I know I need, that I see that I need to change on, and I'm going to change on. Like, it's not all about you anymore. Once you get married and have a wife and kids, it's not all about you. You know what I'm saying? And what may not bother me, what may not bother you, may bother your spouse. You understand? So, I mean, you just have to, each woman is different, and then in a sense, each woman is not really different. But it's certain things that your woman is willing to put up with that some women won't put up with. So you just have to look at that and find ways to fine tune your marriage. Like, that's something I'm constantly doing. Trying to make my marriage better. And some days I'll be like, man, screw this junk. Sick of doing this. I'm sick of doing that. And then I'll fly off the handle, or she'll fly off the handle. It don't mean we don't love one another. It's just, those are the things you go through in marriage. And I will say it's still all good. I don't have a woman that acts a fool and wastes money, and I don't have a woman that do that. So I would admit I do have it good. And even after all of that, what we went through this morning, she still found time to make it back home to make sure that I had dinner and some lunch to bring to work. I'm the type of person, oh no, screw that. Don't say nothing to me the rest of the day. I ain't stunting dinner. I ain't cooking nothing. She's not that type of person. Still came home, made sure I had dinner, made sure I had lunch. So, I mean, it's some things that I need to work on personally in my marriage to make my marriage better. And these are some of the things that we have to look at as men because it's not talked about. Everything else is talked about except for how to treat your woman better. So that's one of the things I'm trying to work on. But man, look, I got to go punch this clock. I know I'm rambling. My goodness, that temperature done dropped. That wind blowing. Y'all hear that wind? Well, they done pulled the oil rig up in here. Look here. Look here. When they pull these oil rigs in here, they want you to work 7/12. Listen, I ain't working this Saturday. I'll work next Saturday. I'm going to skip the third one, let them chew me out, and then I'm gone. I got 4 weeks. I'm out of here. And honestly, I might pull out a little earlier. Instead of me being here 4 more weeks, I may just do 3 more weeks and get on down. I don't know yet. It depends. I might do 5 more weeks. I don't know. But that's where I'm at, man. Just taking it one day at a time. If you can, work on your marriage, make your marriage stronger. And I'm sure everybody do that. Like I say, I'll try and do it. And just have somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Even your friends, man. Be friends with somebody who's going to tell you the truth on what it is you really need to do. Because like I say, it's some things I can improve on. And it's some things I'm starting today to improve on. But I got to go, y'all.